So you've never played
Combat School.
Yeah!
The 1987 two-player arcade game Combat School will teach you all you need to know about being a soldier as you participate in mini-games that train you to become a killing machine.
That kills people.
In the USA, this game was called Boot Camp.
Sounds like exercise.
And it was originally controlled with a trackball and 2 buttons. A bootleg of the game was released a year later and changed the trackball into a joystick, which made the game much easier to control.
Joysticks rule.
I've never seen this game with a trackball. In fact, I've never ever seen this game in the arcade. Anyway, let's get ready to go back to school. Combat School. Player 1 is a guy named Nick, who has brown hair and an orange shirt. And player 2 is Joe, the blonde-haired hot guy with a green shirt. If you're playing one player, the computer controls your rival, Joe. Well, what's the first event? Class?
Ready.
It's an obstacle course where you tap the button frantically to run sideways and you use the other button to jump over wooden obstacles that increase in height. If you hit the obstacles, you fall down and say,
Ouch!
What a pansy.
After the wooden obstacles, you come to some monkey bars over some mud and you make a swinging noise, like you are a monkey.
You become a monkey.
You cross the finish line and take a breath. Sounds like you have asthma or something.
Get an inhaler.
The drill instructor says,
You made it, Nick.
and what does that make you want to do? Fist bump the sky and say,
Yeah,
but don't forget Joe.
you made it, Joe. Yeah.
Depending on how fast you were, you get a score bonus.
I need a bonus.
But if you're too slow, you better go home to your mother.
Go home to your mother, Nick.
Well, we aced that one, so let's head to class 2, the shooting range.
Shooting.
You lie on the ground and shoot at targets that pop up. And the drill instructor helpfully yells,
Fire!
just in case you forgot what to do. You have to hit 44 targets within the time limit. But if you want a bonus, shoot even more.
Okay, Nick.
It's time to go for a run again as you start the third class, the Iron Man race.
Iron Man race.
This time, we have a top-down view of the character as you run up the screen jumping over rocks, puddles, and live landmines.
It's a death race.
When you pass your rival, why don't you give him a friendly shove?
Shove off, bag.
At the end of the race, you make it to the water and begin swimming until you get into a canoe. Avoid the floating wood as you pedal your way to the finish line, where the drill instructor is waiting for you.
You made it, Nick.
Yes, let's fist bump the air. Oh, wait a second. Is he flipping the bird?
Oh, snap.
Well, I don't know about you, but training is hard. It's time for a break. And the game shows a cutscene of the drill instructor running with all your classmates while you lag behind struggling with your asthma again. Looks like even though you've passed the last 3 classes, you're still the worst soldier in class.
Better than the best civilian.
It's time for shooting class again, and this time you have to strafe from side to side, shooting at moving robotic targets.
Evil robots.
This time you have to shoot 52 targets before the time runs out. But if you wait until the end of the stage, the targets pretty much drive into your bullets, so this won't be too hard.
Stupid robots.
Now we have the most important class of any army training you'll find.
Arm wrestling.
You arm wrestle your rival by pushing the buttons like a crazy person.
He's straining.
If you're playing one player, you face the computer, and it's pretty much impossible to win. Don't worry though, if you fail this class, you don't have to go home to your mother. You just don't get a time bonus for the next class. But this could be a problem, because the next class is real tough.
Tough shooting.
It's shooting again, but this time, your target doesn't move very nicely, and there are drill instructor symbols on the targets that you're not supposed to shoot.
Don't shoot him.
You have to get 32 targets within the time limit to pass, but don't shoot the drill instructor or you'll lose points. It's harder than it sounds, and you're lucky if you don't have to
Go home to your mother.
But don't worry, if you fail any class by a tiny amount, the drill instructor may give you a second chance. He looks at you and slaps the stick in his hand.
Your last chance, chump.
Who you calling chump?
If you're lucky enough for this to happen, you must do 10 pull-ups
Pull-ups.
by rapidly
Come on,
pushing the
pull up.
buttons within the time limit while your rival cheers you on.
Come on.
And the drill instructor beats you down with his words.
Can't you do it better?
Pass the pull-up challenge and you've earned a cutscene. Nick leans against a wall like a man, while Joe sits on the ground next to him smoking a cigarette. Badass. In the last class, you practice hand-to-hand combat.
Fighting.
You fight one-on-one against your drill instructor. You have 3 moves. kick, jump, kick, and kick in the shin.
Not all the actions you need.
Somehow you might pull out a punch every now and then, but I don't know how that works. It's just lucky.
Lucky punch.
Jump around the screen as your instructor taunts you
Take your best shot.
and kick him in the shins until he's down.
Shitting kick.
Yeah.
If you're playing 2 players, you fight the instructor one at a time.
Yeah.
And if you lose, you don't get to graduate.
Come back after you grow up, kid.
Well, that's all the training you need to be a soldier. Running, shooting, arm wrestling, and fighting. And then you're pretty much a soldier,
Congratulations on your graduation.
your drill instructor says, and you fling your hats into the air as the national anthem plays.
America.
You must have done a lot of arm training in this combat school because everyone throws their gravity-defying hats into the air so high that they fly above a flagpole and don't fall down.
Amazing hats.
Based on the amount of points you've earned during the game, you are given a rank from rookie to master sergeant. Well, what's a soldier without a mission? We better decide who gets to go on the mission by having an arm wrestle. That's right, 2 people can't go on the same mission at the same time for some reason.
Go.
And the first mission after you've graduated, of course, is to save the president from terrorists
Evil terrorists.
that have attacked the White House.
Don't be a chicken. Yes, sir.
When balaclava-wearing thugs attack the White House, only one man should be sent in, armed with his fists and his feet. That's right, on your mission, you use none of the skills you've learned in training. You don't even get a gun. You run along Kung Fu Master style and kick bad guys with knives who have messed up the White House, spilling their potato chips everywhere.
Oh, messy.
One hit with a knife and you die. If a bad guy walks into you, you die.
It's easy to die.
When you get to the door, the bad guys start throwing knives. Just kick them out of the air.
Kung Fu knife ear kick.
A man behind crates is throwing Molotov cocktails at you and burning the furniture.
Burning down the White House.
After you beat this guy, there's fire all over the ground, and you have to shimmy across the water pipes on the roof, even though the bad guys seem to be able to run through the fire okay.
Inflammable suits.
Go through another doorway, and there's a fat guy with nunchucks.
Nunchucks rule.
Beat him pretty easily. And there's a bearded fat biker dude
Biker bad guy.
holding the president hostage, tied up on a chair.
Help me.
How did this guy take over the White House? He kicks you and says,
Get lost.
or punches you and says,
Son of a gun.
keep kicking him in the face so he can't get up.
Lost.
And you win. You untie the president, I assume, and take him out of the building to see your proud drill instructor,
You made it.
who seems to have forgotten your name. And you get assigned a new rank from second lieutenant to captain.
Captain.
That's the end of the game. Congratulations and thank you for playing. If you would like to play Combat School, you'll have to find it in the arcade, which is pretty much impossible. It was also ported to the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, and the Spectrum. It really needs to be on some kind of compilation one of these days because you can't find it on anything else.
Make it happen, Konami.
Even though the later levels are ridiculously difficult, Combat School is a fun game, especially if you want to play it with your friend or rival. So if you're looking to join the army one day, make sure you practice your pull-ups and
Don't be a chicken.